Hey everybody, happy Sunday. It's great to be here with you as always. Here today to channel some messages from my spirit guides who woke me up in the middle of the night a couple nights ago. They've been keeping me up. Talking, of course, about love because Venus is in retrograde and about the completion of the cycle that we are in when we reach the full moon in Taurus in a couple of days. I believe it's the 24th. Hi Wally, sweetie, I've been thinking about you. I'm going to talk a little bit, maybe towards the end, about the Spirit's calling it the visit, the group workshop that we had. Hi Bear, hi Darlene. Here at Moonrise Cottage, the initiation journey for this portal. It was an amazing event. So I'm going to do what the spirit guides want me to do. I don't have a clear direction, so I'm stepping out with a little bit of fear and intimidation, and I'm just going to shuffle cards, and we'll pick some cards, and I'm just going to allow the spirit guides to talk about what it is that's on their mind that's been coming through to me. Hi, India. Yeah, that visit was fabulous, wasn't it, Wally? The reverberations of that continue here. And, okay, spirit guides are telling me that that is the basis on which we're going to jump off today. So actually there, oh, that's my doorway. Let me toggle over and say hi. Hi, everybody. Ooh, it's been a beautiful week here. We had wonderful, Spirit's calling it a transition journey. Opening the portal at Moonrise Cottage. I've been prepared for that for quite a while. It's been coming. And Spirit's saying that no surprise that showed up during Venus retrograde. There was a purpose for that. So as you all know, we're coming into the full moon in Taurus, which is aspected by Uranus. I believe Uranus is retrograde. So the energy that's going forward in these moments of Venus retrograde, bringing us to the completion of a cycle, so that when Venus moves from her current station in Scorpio back into Libra on the 1st of November, and then obviously, of course, that's one of Venus's homes, so she'll be in a place where she feels more comfortable, in a sense, and bringing forward the balance that's meant to come to us as a result of this retrograde season with Venus. Okay, Spirit's saying specifically placed at the end of the year by the cosmos to help us finish all the work that's been going forward and to prepare us for what comes in 2019. Jupiter is going to be in Scorpio. So there's going to be a massive expansion in consciousness in things that people call the occult, ways of knowing and ways of being. And that's what Spirit wants to talk about going really deep into our ability to have balance and to capture the fire, because Venus is going to transit into Sagittarius. So before I forget, the meetings at Moonrise Cottage are going to continue to go forward. The next one that I'm scheduling is actually for the 16th, 15th, 16th of November. So if you'd like to come to Moonrise Cottage and continue the work that's going on here and help further the energy, and Spirit's talking about growing the fractal of the tapestry. So there's a lot coming through. I'm going to try to clip that off. So if you have an interest in coming to Moonrise Cottage to have a journey with me and with this place, please let me know. Go to my website. The link is below the video. Click that and contact me through the website. Send me an email. I know it's short notice, but that's the way things are unfolding. So it'll be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm okay with people arriving on Thursday night so that Friday morning we can begin. And I'm going to work with my website angel later today and start putting some of these things up on the website. So just to refresh, I'm going to show you some pictures while I chat because Spirit wants me to talk a little bit more about fractals and something that I think it came out, I can't exactly remember. There's been some chatter coming through about the tapestry, the nature of the tapestry, and what it's really for, and how it functions in a fractal-like way. Okay, so I'm going to channel, I'm going to chatter, Spirit says a little bit. I'm going to toggle back and see if I can throw up some photos for you to look at while I'm chattering. Give me a moment. One of the things that Spirit wants to talk about is the notion of the fractal as a circuit. And the circuit, okay, sorry, I loaded up some pictures. I've been having trouble with my tech stuff because things are in retrograde and life is a little wacky. All right, so you know what? I'm just going for it. There's that picture. Spirit's been talking to me a little bit also about the journey that I had exactly a year ago into the passage tombs. And the most intense moments that happened for me were when I was inside the Fornox passage tomb, which is in alignment with Newgrange and also with the pyramids in Egypt. If you go to Google Earth, you can look all that stuff up. So while I was in there doing readings and downloading, Spirit says, there was some information coming through that I've been digesting for quite a while. And Spirit says it has to do with that. It has to do with light language, light energy, the speed of light, and Spirit's saying the attendant electronics. So the electromagnetic field, if you will. So here's the first card that popped out. That's interesting because that's the card that Spirit told me to put as the landing picture. So again, the perfecter of energy. That is about the completion of a cycle in order to begin what comes next. And all of you who have been feeling the effects of Venus in retrograde, in Scorpio, going deep with people. And, you know, it's not just with other people, it's within yourself. And, all right, I'm being told to toggle back. And within the electromagnetic force that you are and that you carry within you. So we are coming to a place of completion. Many of the journeys that I've been having with other people have come to a place of completion. And so Spirit's talking a little bit about the Kundalini energy that we raised while we were here in this place last weekend. And there we are, right? An awakening, an awakening as a completion point and a new beginning. So over the next year, there's a sacred swastika, sacred feminine energy. What it is to enliven that energy with the spark of our own electromagnetic field as it relates to other individuals. So I've been experiencing really deep, really beautiful journeys with other individuals. Spirit's talking to me for many years, but more formally since I came to YouTube. So how those things reverberate and the purpose of them when you agree energetically to have a journey with someone else. What happens along that journey is significant in terms of awakening the electromagnetic field within yourself as a reflection, as a fractal-like reflection of your connection, your repetitive pattern, and your spectral signature. So that's what I was awakened last night. Spirit woke me up in the middle of the night and was talking to me about spectral signature and the tapestry as a circuit and what it is to open and close a circuit. And that's what we're going to be involved in more and more. Spirit has been talking to me more about soulmates and twin flames and the meaning of those words. So there's a lot of information coming through about language and about the language we use to help us understand our experiences. So we're going to get, you know what? I'm looking out the window. It's snowing. We had our first snow here a couple days ago. I woke up, there was a little dusting of snow. I was surprised. I'm not feeling ready for that, but we are going. We're going into the days of darkness, right? Into the days of late autumn, early winter, in order to come to another awakening like that. In order to be able to, Spirit saying, penetrate the darkness of our existence and our own limitations through our relationships with other people. So clearly the full moon is a culmination. It brings things into illumination and it starts a new cycle. So I did post something from Pam Gregory, who I love, on the playlist for October. So when we're done today, go check that out. She's amazing. I'm not going to try to reiterate all the many wise things that she knows about. I'm not an expert in astrology by any means, but to inform yourself and to help, Spirit saying, to help you understand what that's all about. Okay, so a card just jumped literally up out of the deck and it's on the floor. So I'm going to go get that. Hang on a second. Okay, actually there are two. So as we complete this cycle, okay, that's the theme of this reading, if you will. Spirit saying it's not really a reading, it's a discussion using the cards as an illustration. Right? So yeah, we're completing a cycle. And Spirit's talking about the beauty of completion. And, oh, that's what that picture's about. Okay, hang on. Okay, Spirit's talking about the afterglow, if you will, no pun intended. When you come together with another person and you walk either side by side or energetically from a distance, something is activated. You activate each other, you learn from each other, even if it's not direct learning. If it is learning through the conductive energy field that you share with another person, however you identify them. And part of what's coming through is we have these words. We have, soulmate and twin flames and all those things. Spirit said a lot of words. I'm going to clip it off because Spirit's chattering. And has been talking a while, as you know, if you've been following along, about the limitations of those ideas and how they have liberated us up until this moment and how they bind us if we're not able to see deeper and in a way that is broader, to understand how the fractal of humanity in this place begins to awaken. And the thing that Spirit's been calling the tapestry is meant to weave together, and over time we're going to see, apparently, that it is a fractal as well of other things that are happening in our sphere of existence and in the sacred realm. And we're going to begin to see how those things are self-repeating patterns, iterations of each other. So that's the cycle that we're going into. And that's why the spirit guides that I am blessed with have been talking about the things they've been talking about since I've been here on YouTube. And they pushed me to be here. I didn't want to do it, and like all of us, sometimes we get pushed. It's time. So if you haven't, Spirit says, if you haven't educated yourself about the implications of the full moon in Taurus, go and do that. I'm not going to go into that today, but it does have a big impact. And we have another, from the full moon, I think we have a week before Venus will transit back into Libra, bringing balance to the experiences that we've had. So when Venus transits from Scorpio into Libra, this will be Spirit's talking about the electromagnetic field that we will carry with us into that place, into that energetic place, the notion of Libra. Okay? Spirit's talking about the air elements, able to take the work that we've done in the deep and move that on the atmosphere. So understand that all the work that you're doing and that you have been doing, the people that you've been traveling with, the energetic, electromagnetic charge of that. Spirit's talking about lightning. Hang on. Okay. So I'm getting an image of Benjamin Franklin, with the key and with the kite, and what happens when lightning strikes and something becomes illuminated and the energy is captured and utilized to bring forward light and what happened in that moment. And we have electricity, et cetera, et cetera. So there's something like that happening within us, and we are meant to capture and carry and emanate the energy that comes to us as we come through the culmination. Those of us that have been working really hard and brave enough, Spirit says, to put our hearts at risk, put ourselves at risk enough to be vulnerable, to stand in the energy that we call love, and how terrifying that is to us. Because Spirit says part of what's true is there's nothing more frightening than love. Because we think it asks us to make choices, and really it does not. That's a human construct. Love asks us to be a conduit for energy, and we feel it in our heart chakra. We feel it all over our bodies. Sometimes, that the electromagnetic force field, Spirit says, when you come across someone that causes you to awaken somehow. And so that's why Spirit's talking about spectral signature. We'll get there. So here's the moment of transition, okay, into Libra. We take this leap. We come up out of the deep into this new quest. Isn't that beautiful? Indication of Pisces energy, water energy, carrying forward, and the discoveries that we make when we rise up from the deep, having journeyed there. And Spirit's talking about sort of at our personal risk, because it has involved our relationships, hasn't it, for all of us? Families, friends, lovers, people that you come across, shocking meetings. I've had quite a few of them. I'm trying to decide if I want to share one of them that happened the day that the workshop here closed and Tanya and Wally left to go home. Something really shocking happened here. And it was along those lines. Somebody came to my door, which seems to happen to me fairly regularly. Someone will show up at my door, and something happened. And because there was a massive amount of Kundalini energy here in the house, and I was still vibrating, that person looked at me and there was an awakening. It was fun, interesting. So there we are, transitioning into Libra. Okay, the balancer of harmony. This is the goddess Elena. She is the goddess of the ways. She helps seafarers traditionally find their way. So this is the energy that's going to be available to us when this transition happens. We are going to come into the light because we have completed a cycle, and then the work of balancing begins as we move onward to the transit. Okay, Spirit's talking about the degrees of transit, all that stuff. I didn't write it down, I didn't memorize it, I just wasn't in the frame of mind this morning. And Spirit was asking me to just sort of channel messages and go with it. So definitely go and watch Pam Gregory, okay? There's a lot of information there. Okay. So I'm going to show you another picture and talk with you a little bit about spectral signature. Okay. Hang on a sec. Let me find this photo. There it is. All right. Look at the Kundalini energy that is rising off the cushion where somebody was sitting during I don't even know, it was a 4 or 5 hour meditation that happened here. That's the experience that we had together. And we, I think we're given the gift of knowing each other energetically and filling up this portal this little house, with our energies joined together in a fractal-like completion for this moment of awakening that we all had. We were very deeply in a trance for a number of days, a lot of fun. We had fun together, amazing things happened, and we really truly felt that we were in another dimension. So Spirit's talking about what our experience may be when those things happen. So last night, Spirit was talking to me about spectral signature and about the tapestry as a not just an electromagnetic field, but also as a circuit. So I don't know anything about electronics, so all this stuff was coming through while I was trying to sleep. So a spectral, you can go to Google and look, I'm reading this right from Google, okay guys? So spectral signature is the variation of reflectance or emittance of a material with respect to wavelength. The spectral signature of stars indicates the composition of stellar atmosphere. So those are the things that Spirit's talking with me about while I'm trying to sleep, okay? I think in order to sort of drive it home for me and to give me the energetic feeling that Spirit wants me to have in order to be able to talk with you about these things that I don't know anything about. So after we're done, I will publish some more links, okay? So let's see. Hey, Mary Love. Hey, Lorraine. All right, so I'm sorry, I'm working three pieces of software. All right, so, we were taking pictures. I took a few pictures. I did not see that energy with my eyes. I saw that energy when I later looked at the picture. So I'm glad to have been able to capture that, the spectral signature of an individual who was in the process of raising their Kundalini energy through particular, Spirit says, attachment to an energy vibration. So as that relates to Venus retrograde and what it is when we come into, Spirit saying circuit magnification through our experience with another human being. We know this, right? We are all walking around as energy beings. And those of us that are on the path of discovery understand that we're working in a certain direction for a purpose. And most of us have very little experience with what happens when we reach our goal. So, Spirit wanted to demonstrate for us, I think, the nature of a spectral signature as a pathway of energy that literally does flow into and out of us, and what it means to be aware of that and to actually feel it and to be able to intersect with it in a sense in order to have a journey with yourself and with the other people that you come across. And that there are going to be times, and many of us have these experiences, when you're going to come across someone. Something's going to happen. And Spirit's talking about the tapestry and the circuit, the spectral signature of your energy and that other person's energy come into play together. And the electromagnetic force literally begins to flow between you. It does awaken your cellular vibration. It is the reflection of the fractal-like energy that you share with this other individual because of your spectral signature. And in those moments, of course, part of what we feel is love. And sometimes it's overwhelming and overpowering because it literally does bring to us an energetic awakening. And in, human thought patterns, there are a lot of explanations for that. And, not to disrespect anybody, but you guys hear me talk about, and my spirit guides talk about, twin flame, soulmate, whatever. Okay. Yep. Okay, I get it. I understand the intensity of those experiences because I have them. One of the things I know is, I think I know, if the explanation for twin flame is that our soul, the yin yang nature of our soul, separated when we incarnated and came here, and then maybe if you're lucky someday you meet the other half of yourself. I don't know. I've got like 5 or 6 twin flames at this point. How many times did my soul fracture? I just think it's a way. Okay, Spirit's talking about religion now. Like religion helped us to understand certain concepts. Spirit's been talking to me a lot lately about the Sacred Heart of Jesus as an example of how energy can coalesce in a place inside of a being. Okay, I'm being corrected. How energy does coalesce inside of a being. In order to activate that being and help that being find its inherent circuit, if you will, also called here in this place the tapestry of beings that we are meant to be with in a fractal-like way, energetically, to help each other awaken and go upon our journey, whatever that might be. So one of the challenges is, of course, we're humans and we've been socialized, and many of us need to have a partner. We want to be feeling love energy flowing from our heart chakras toward another individual with the hope that that person will accept a love offer and be able to flow that back to us. So we're beginning to have these experiences more and more. A lot of people are coming across other individuals. The word we use is soulmate. We have a psychic connection. We have a certain type of love energy that flows to us and from us when we come in contact with those individuals. I've been saying this for a while. I strongly believe the purpose of coming across somebody like that, an energetic mate, if you will, somebody who vibrates at the same spectral signature that you carry as part of the fractal of humanity. The Spirit's talking about all living beings, okay, including trees and animals and etc., plants. It's time to begin to respect the reality of that and to be vulnerable, to become brave enough to be vulnerable in those moments, to be honest with yourself and to get some support about the intense experience that you're having, and to be Spirit's 2 words are coming through: brutally honest and very tender at the same time. And brutally honest means don't hide. People may run away from you. It may freak them out. And so I think there's some temperance that needs to happen in terms of balancing the energy. When those things happen and you come in contact with somebody in this way, right? And something happens, you make this discovery, then the journey is really about balancing your internal energy and what it is, how you handle that, and how you share that energy with another person. Because that is the purpose of it, more so than being with a sacred mate and feeling as though, Spirit's talking about the difference between connection and attachment. The purpose is not to attach yourself to another human being. We are going to have, Spirit's calling them love events. We're going to meet people that we fall in love with. It's part of being human. So Spirit's, sort of pushing me to say, okay, look, it's not that I'm rejecting all of that. I'm certainly not. All right, so I'm being pushed a little bit to tell the story of what happened here. So Wally and Tani were here. They left Monday morning really early, and I don't know how you drove, Wally. Oh my God. I was way across still. So Monday afternoon came, and I got a text message from somebody who's been doing some interacting with me over the course of a year or so about potentially doing some work here at Moonrise Cottage. Just some things that need to be done. Carpentry stuff that I don't want to do, and I can't. I could do it, but better to give it to somebody who really knows what they're doing. So this person came over here and have a curtain on the door and knocked on the door, and I opened the door, and this was a gentleman, and he literally stepped into the house. I feel sorry for him because he had no idea what he was stepping into. And he was immediately captured by the energy and the kundalini that was going on in here. And in that moment, he fell helplessly, hopelessly, ridiculously, twin flame kind of thing in love with me. And he couldn't manage himself. And I understood what he was going through because I've been through it. And he's like 30 years younger than me. And I just kept trying to say, okay, wait a minute, wait, just let's breathe, because I'm not your twin flame. I'm not. So, within that dogma, that's the thing. This is why Spirit sort of presses on this. Okay, now if you go and you look at all that, whatever, in his mind, he's attached to me. I'm not the other half of his soul. I know with total clarity. So in the twin flame world, people would say, oh, I'm a runner. Nope, I'm not. I'm a whole human being and I know my destiny. And I have really intense, often shamanic type journeys with other people. So, Spirit just basically said, I think this person was here for about an hour. And I finally had to put him out the door because he was being a little bit sexually, he was overcome with whatever. And I just I felt bad for him because I was laughing a little bit. And I said, I get it. I understand what's happening. I really assure you, I didn't tell him because I didn't think that he had the capacity to understand what had just happened here and what the energy was. And the poor guy, he stepped into the middle of it. He had no capacity to manage it at all. So, these things happen. It might happen while you're in the supermarket, Spirit always says. So I'm going to toggle back to this picture. So, take a look at the flow of energy. I think that's what was coming off of me. And he stepped right into the force field of it. So when you come across other people and you feel these things, this intense energy, this awakening, this attraction, understand it is the spectral signature that you carry within you and the signature of the person that you are standing with, because we are force fields of energy, aren't we? So, you know what? Hang on. Spirit's telling me to check with the chat. Can you guys, do you understand when you look at that picture? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Can you see the flow of energy there? I'm just reading messages. Yeah. Wally, I haven't been in touch with Wally and Tani since they left here because I've been still really across. So I've been just letting things unfold in my own spot. Hi, Marie Antoinette. Hey, Golden Craft, it's your first time on live. You were led here. Oh, good. Okay, well, I'm rambling today for those of you that are just jumping on. I'm just letting spirit guides speak through me. Hi, Martin from Austria. Great to have you here. Marie Antoinette, love you. Dana, hi. Hi. Nice to see everybody here. So, hi, Lorraine. I'm just gonna scroll down the list a little bit and say hello to everybody. Okay, so glad to see you all here. Okay, so Lorraine, you had a meeting. Yeah. All right, so here we are, right? Venus, tweaking everybody's buttons, making us reevaluate, reform. It's not just about relationships, I do believe, because it's in Scorpio and we've gone really deep. It has to do with bringing the spectral signature of our own individual self to the surface. Okay? That's what the guides are talking about, because it is time for the electromagnetic force field of the tapestry, of which there are many. There's one happening in this place called Moonrise Cottage, and I've been blessed with the adventure that I'm having in life in order to be able to host people to come here and experience themselves in that way with a guide, with me, with some love and care and help, and those journeys unfold in the way they're meant to. This is what we are experiencing. This is what it means to have this kind of an experience. And suddenly, someone is standing before you, and you feel your chakras open, and you feel your cells start to vibrate, and your heart cracks open. And there's so much love streaming into you and from you that you can't manage it because we haven't had the experience before. We don't know what to do with it, right? So then we put labels on it, right? Soulmate, twin flame, whatever. And then we start the mental acrobatics of attachment, and we miss the experience, or we run the risk, I guess, of missing the experience. So, let's see. Yeah, it's time to begin to bring ourselves into full knowledge and balance. So, we're talking about Kundalini again. There are a lot, okay, I'm getting words like meditation, etc. So, yes, please, if you don't, it's just 5 minutes. Close your eyes, take some quiet. I know for some people it's really hard. There was a time in my life when it was really hard just to get quiet. Just 5 minutes. And if you have kids, you know, you go in the bathroom, you close the door, and 30 seconds later, someone's, Mom, right? Or Dad, as the case may be. That's what happens. But it's, okay, Spirit's saying it is incumbent upon us to create the space because we are meant now to be students of this energy. And I love that there's a stone on the heart chakra there. Right? Third eye opening. If you don't know these cards, this is the Celtic Wisdom Tarot. And you know what I just discovered? I was doing some research because I'm going to start using another deck. I'm going to start doing love readings finally at long last. I don't know how I'm going to work that in, but I've been looking at researching decks. I went to Celtic Wisdom Tarot, the woman who created this deck. And I've been calling her Caitlin Matthews. It's wrong. It's because of the spelling and the difference in the cultural pronunciation. Her name's actually Kathleen. So apologies to her all this time. I'm going to correct that now. So this card is about going into the deep, into the total darkness, as a student, with a stone upon your chest to help you keep awake. And Spirit's talking about managing your heart when you have these experiences. How to be able to manage your heart. Because I don't know about you folks, but when I have those experiences, it is what we call love energy. And often it's, it brings, for me, I'm a very emotional person, so it brings forward tears come streaming down my face and my body shakes and, it's intense, right? So it's time for us to go inside and begin to explore our own spectral signature and to understand that we are actually part of an electromagnetic circuit. That's why Spirit was talking about fractals and self-repeating and similarly repeating. There are various different kinds of fractals. I'm not going to go into that stuff today, okay? But go and look it up. You can just go to Wikipedia and you can read all that stuff. So if we are part of a repeating pattern, in order to have this tapestry, it's a circuit board, Spirit says, what we would call a circuit board. And there are different types of spectral signatures within each individual that does repeat. And someday you might walk in front of somebody who has enough similarity of spectral signature, and yeah, it wakes you up and something happens. Then you have to do the hard work of being present and being vulnerable and talking about what you're feeling and getting some, the Spirit says, get some counseling, get somebody to talk to so that you can be brave enough to be really honest with yourself and with the person that you are, okay, Spirit's saying working with, the energy that you're working with, and the illusion is it's a human being, right? If we believe that we're on a sacred path in order to be in touch with our light bodies and to transform, then really what you're doing is you're having an experience with another energy, another energetic pattern, source pattern on the fractal of the spectral signature circuit board. And that happens for a reason, because we are meant, okay, Spirit's talking about things I don't know anything about. Hang on a second. Spirit's talking about, yeah, if you think about electronics and the way an electronic circuit works, when you walk in your house and you flip the switch and the electricity then is allowed to come through, and it has to travel through the wiring in order to illuminate the light that the switch is connected to. That's what Spirit's talking about. These are the experiences we're having. And we're putting all kinds of names and all kinds of dogma and all kinds of trying to figure it out. So as we go forward and Venus comes out of retrograde and moves into Sagittarius, There is a new day dawning for 2019. Go and look that up too. Massive expansion. Jupiter in Scorpio. Deepening these experiences. And I think making them more prevalent. So how much are you willing to love? Spirit says, are you willing to love everybody hopelessly? That's kind of the experience in a sense that some people have. It's so overwhelming, like the poor man that came to my door. The worst thing I could do for that person is to agree to have anything to do with him sexually or in a relationship way, right? It's not what it's for, and it would ruin his life. And I know that, and my life too, for all kinds of reasons that I won't go into, but it's just not. So I thought it was really shocking because I was still in a deep meditative state, and I opened the door, and this person stepped into the house, and so I watched it happen to him, and I felt bad. I should next time I'll know better. I'll step out into the porch, right? So, when this happens, understand your spectral signature and your membership in the tapestry as a fractal, as a reflection of a whole, that we don't even know the nature of it. We can't see it. The Spirit says it's not time for us to totally understand that, but those are the basis of the thought patterns that have arisen out of humanity to help us with this journey that we're on, okay? To help us begin to understand. And then we're going to understand, as always, we're going to understand experientially. And then we're going to have to manage that, which happens, okay, I love this card. It's a number 3. So courtship. We're going to have to be in courtship with this knowledge within ourselves to come to know our own spectral signature and to understand what happens and the divinatory nature of these types of things. And it does bring you to your knees. Hang on, I'm going to toggle back to the chat room. Has anybody who's here had that experience or those types of experiences? Lorraine, your twin flame must have died. He ain't out there. You know what? Stop wishing for that. I know that sounds cruel and heartless, but we are here to work with our own vibration, to understand what that is and how that weaves into the tapestry, and to begin to know that obviously these experiences are happening. They've been happening over time forever. It's more prevalent now because we've been doing the work that we're meant to do. So, when we have these experiences with people, it does bring us into the sacred. Okay, hang on a second. I'm just reading. Sandy, you're asking about the monthlies. Yeah, I forgot to say, I took a month off because I knew I was going deep. There's a lot going on here, and I decided I was going to take some time for myself. So this coming week, I'm going to start working on the readings for November. I will be back with that, but I gave myself permission. It's been an intense year. It's the 1-year anniversary of when I was in the Passage Tombs and all the things that came from that adventure for me. So I did take some time off, and thank you for being patient with me. Let's see. Okay. Carlene, you're talking about the collective consciousness. Yeah, Carlene, thank you. Loving hopelessly is what love asks us to do. Oh my gosh, I couldn't have said it better. And I'm not talking about desperation. I'm talking about without hope of any manifestation of attachment. Because in my experience, when you love someone with all the intensity that you have the capacity to feel and understand, and you're able to be vulnerable and stand right in your place and say, I love you, just because I do, not because I want anything from you. I am human, so it does cause me to sort of push my buttons and think, oh, I do want something from you. Now what do I do? Right? That's where the vulnerability comes in. And spirit, my spirit guides are saying, in those moments, to the best of your ability, understand what's actually happening. Some of us will be partnered with some of those people. And, again, oh gosh, people are going to get mad at me. But, if you want to look from my perspective, okay, when I go online and I look, because I do want to understand the twin flame thing, because it just seems to me like it's the in thing. You know, it used to be soulmates, now it's notched up to twin flame. I think it's about the energy spectrum and the intensity of what happens between two people. But, you know, when I look at those things online, it seems to me that it's the height of dysfunction. You want to get into a really intense, difficult, dysfunctional relationship, go get a twin flame. Because, wow. In fact, somebody that I know says, yeah, that was like, it kicked my ass for years. And I think that person left their twin flame person behind. And it's happening more and more. Again, if you go look on YouTube, it's happening a lot. And I think it's because we're meant to love each other, not attach ourselves. We are meant to attach energetically and love that and the sweetness of that connection. I'm here to testify to that. When I feel love in that way for another human being, and I start a journey with another human being, I love them completely. And it is love free of expectation. It is love that is pure energy stream. All right, Spirit's telling me to toggle back to that picture. I don't even know what my viewfinder's showing. Okay, check it out. Do you see that in the center underneath the window? Do you see the stream of energy there? That's what I experience when I begin to love someone. I can feel and see the energy flow. Often I have a lot of psychic connection with that person. Sometimes, depending on what the journey's about, I will journey with them in the ethers. I can see their movements. I have dreams about them. I am here to love you. This is what I tell people. I'm just here to, I love you. That's all. No big deal. I love you because there is love energy streaming through me as an energetic being that is meant to be delivered to you. And that is my purpose. That's what this intersection is about. Because you are being given a little bit of energetic help from the universe. And I'm just standing here, the conduit, right? I'm the circuit because of the tapestry. And there are groups of us, if you look at a fractal, all the different points on a fractal and the repetitive nature of that. So if you understand yourself as a point on a fractal of energy, a spectral signature of a larger energetic being, then you begin to understand what these experiences are about and what they're for. Because we are meant to ignite each other and awaken each other. And when you have that kind of experience, you do feel awakened. And then it does ignite, like the poor person who came to my door. I felt sorry for this guy. That just, you know, hopefully someday he'll come back and I'll be able to explain to him in a way that's calm. It was intense. That person would not be someone that would be identified as being on a spiritual path at all. And yet, he just had an experience. So, the Spirit says, pace yourself a little bit. Understand, you may not, I've had this experience many times, and I have not yet been able to be totally calm in the moment when this kind of spectral signature, fractal, repetitive pattern meeting happens. It's so intense because it does ignite your energy. You will have, I believe, on some level, a Kundalini awakening in that moment. And so, you know, part of the challenge is it just stimulates your root chakra. You just want to have sex with that person right now. And it's not about sex, it is about union. And here we are in Venus and Scorpio, right? And Scorpio people, their nature is to utilize exactly this pathway in order to come together with another person to have an energetic journey into the mind of the divine. That's what that energy is all about. It's really beautiful. It's really intense. And if I had a half a guess, I think that person probably was a Scorpio and just didn't stand a chance, the poor guy. So, you know, Spirit wants us to really, just pushing me, as you can tell, to just keep talking about it. Just keep pushing home the point. You know, this devotional pathway that will bring it to your knees and crack you open and put you in direct contact with the divine. You will know. And you see how this man is having this experience and his hair is turning blue? That's about the beginning of transformation. So understand that each of us carries a spectral signature. Each, we're going to, Spirit says, we're going to talk about that more because I'm getting more downloads. And I started to say a couple months back about astrological set point, the spectral set. I don't know if I said spectral signature, but it's been coming through. And that's why I changed the way I did the readings, and I'm doing them in groupings now. There's kind of a lot to slog through, I know, because then the reading's an hour long, because I'm touching on the fire signs, the earth signs, air sign, and water, and how they vibrate, and how they can begin as a cohort to utilize the spectral signature inherent in each individual set point within the cohort. And then what Spirit's telling me is then over the next year, what we're going to talk about is then how do we vibrate together? What does it really mean? So we're in this new courtship with this type of sacred knowledge, and we are beginning to transform as we are meant to, and being in touch with the divine. And you fall to your knees and you offer gifts and you try to understand. And if you look at him in a sense, you could say, look, there's his energy flowing out of him. But Spirit's saying, there he is freaking out because, oh my God, something just happened. And I don't know, I've been hit by a bolt. That's why Spirit was talking about Benjamin Franklin. I've been hit by lightning. And there's a children's story about ducklings. Something about they hatch and their mother isn't there, so they attach themselves. Spirit's saying, be careful not to take the mindset that you are now attached to this person. You are in connection. You are vibrating. There's a lot you can do together. And the most important thing is to just allow the love energy, the electromagnetic field, if you will, of that vibrates through your cells because of the presence of another human being. Just allow it. And feel free to be vulnerable enough. Be strong enough to be vulnerable, Spirit says, to freely talk about, I'm feeling love. I feel love. It's freaking me out, maybe, but I'm feeling it. And it's because of your presence. And if you're available, maybe we can talk about that. Don't know, right? Don't know what it means. What it means is it exists. So, we think about this utopian society. And I think to give a positive shout out to the twin flame community. When you look at some of the stuff that comes out of that community, the mindset, a lot of it I consider dogma. It's like a new religion, right? They do talk about, they think that their purpose is to bring forward into this plane of existence this particular type of vibration and move us into what people call 5D and all that kind of stuff. Spirit says, I'm here to tell you, you're going to move into 5D whether you have a twin flame or not, because we are being awakened as individuals. It is time for our spectral signature to become activated, and we will activate each other, sometimes in groups. There's a woman that I know that I love very deeply, met her through this YouTube channel. She says I'm her twin flame. And we laugh about it, because we're comfortable with each other enough to just kind of talk about it and laugh about it, and that's fun. And she's married to a human man, and so, we make jokes about, well, we'll have to be sister wives then, because I don't know, how are we going to manage this, right? So have fun with it. That's the other thing. Spirit says, try to calm down and have fun. And understand that the things that you believe, they're true. And they're beginning to happen. And you're beginning to experience them. Oh gosh, I'm watching the snow come down. I'm not ready. What's the date today? It's the 21st of October, for God's sakes. Please, dear Goddess. Can we just have Indian summer for a while? So, all right. That card, the Courtship of Knowledge. Spirits, that the way I'm putting the cards down the way I usually do, okay? At some point I'm gonna switch back over to photo viewer and take a picture and load it up into my viewfinder so you can see the whole reading, okay? But Spirit's talking about our destiny, Okay? So the courtship of this new knowledge is the bridge, the pathway between our human existence and the things that we've been studying and learning, trying to understand about what it is to be a spiritual being walking in a human shell. This is what it is. This is exactly what it is, right? We're talking again about Jesus. Like, there's a great, or Buddha, or, any of the great sages over time. That was their existence. They were able to vibrate within the spectral signature of sacred energy that is embodied within them through the fractal of their heart as a pump, through the fractal of their lungs, excreting into the air, not just moisture, right? Okay, so first talk about the products of respiration. When you become in line with your spectral signature, which my spirit guides talk about that as that is your purpose in life, is to understand the nature of your energetic being. And if you look deeply into Vedic astrology, you'll learn a lot about that. And all the other ways that there are of knowing, right? Tarot, the runes, there are a lot of oracles available to us to help us understand. So we are now, when Venus transits, okay, sometimes I'm a little dense. When Venus transits into a fire sign, into Sagittarius, and goes station direct, I can't remember. She goes station direct on the 16th of November, and she remains in shadow for another whole month or something, eventually transits into a fire sign, into Sagittarius, as a matter of fact. That's all about, sort of playfulness in a sense, passion, but it's about learning and teaching. That's the Sagittarius people. And their journey on Moonrise Cottage, if you look at some of their readings, that's what they've been dealing with, is their deep held feelings about what humanity is going through and how much they want to be able to change it. And Sag, here's your chance. So if you're a Sag or you're a fire sign and you want to come here on the 16th of November to have a weekend, to usher in this energy and be part of the conduit and ignite the tapestry in that way so that you can leave here knowing that all you got to do is walk through your life, because people will benefit from the experience of your energy. That's the stuff of my life. Took me a long time to understand, and I ran away from it because it's scary. Because you do have to be vulnerable. I love everybody, right? You can't, I don't know. I'm not a polygamist. I'm just a wee little Virgo, Spirit says, trying to figure it out. So that opportunity's coming. I'm talking to my website, Angel, my twin flame, this afternoon, and hopefully we'll start putting those things on the website. So going forward from here, if you want a courtship with this experience of yourself and with this knowledge and your spectral signature and what it means to step into a portal and be awakened. And so Spirit's talking about that's part of the experience, right? So this place is a portal, but each of us as individuals, we are a portal also. And people can step into us and through us have an experience. And you have to learn to manage that and trust it and believe in it. So this is about destiny. This is about a woman who was a seer and her ability to name a sacred lineage. And that's what Spirit's talking about, right? It's time for the sacred lineage of humanity to step forward and begin to be awakened and begin to understand energetics of human force field. And Spirit's talking now about the stars, how all those things really are connected. We say it, right? Oh, we're stardust. Well, we are. What does that mean? What does it mean to capture the energy, to have it within you, the energy of the universe? And so when you have a meeting with someone, that's what you feel. And in that moment, there is no way to describe the feeling that we call love. It is overwhelming. So it's just time to be willing to express love to the people you come in contact with and to find ways to do it that are gentle, Spirit's saying, and pervasive. And just say, I love you, because you do. And then, there are a lot of conversations, in my experience, there are a lot of conversations that need to happen. And one of them is I just tell people, look, I feel love for you. It's streaming through me. I don't run from that anymore. I'm not particularly asking you for anything. I'm just letting you know that it's true, and I give myself the freedom to express it and to experience it, and magical things happen, and journeys begin. And then Spirit's saying, and then you have a partnership based on something true and real, and you get to explore really deeply with other people in that way without managing, Spirit saying, the fear of attachment. You are connected, not attached. So there's a lot of words coming through about that. Okay, so this will be the first card in the spirit realm, okay? About being a seer, about understanding the lineage that is prophecy to come forward, right? Some people call it 5D. We're going through the 3D, the 4D, the 5D, twin flame, soulmate. We have our own limitations as humans. As we try to understand things, we give words to them. And then we create a construct because we want to attach to the idea and we want to understand it. So Spirit says, free your mind, more understanding will come. If you need a construct in the moment, understand that it has limitations and there is more to be known. Okay, so that's what my spirit guides always talk about when it comes to that stuff. All right, so Spirit wants me to transition back to that picture again. I mean, look at that. Look at the stream of energy coming off of that cushion that somebody was sitting on meditating. Wally, have you seen that picture? I'm coming back to the chat room for a second. Okay, let's see. Lorraine, thank you. You know what? Lorraine's telling me I have nice eyes. One of the things you can do is begin to actually look people in the eyes in a very gentle way. Really look at them. Right? It is the window to the soul in a sense. What happens when you look at somebody in the eye? What do you see? It's a mystical thing, isn't it? Okay, let's see. Let me just take a peek. Thank you, Lilith. You are right. Being vulnerable does not mean being powerless. In fact, being vulnerable is the way to step into your full power. It does not mean that you are becoming weak. It means you are becoming available in a way that is tender and sweet and powerful all in the same moment. Okay, somebody's talking about stalkers for some reason. What did I miss? Darlene, you live too far away? Well, you know what? Set the intention. It would be really nice to have you. Hey, Wally, you know, I was thinking about you. If you want to come back, let's talk about it, okay? Because your Sag energy, wow, that would be lovely to have here again. Hey, Catherine. All right, so let me switch back to the live view of me. We're going to keep getting cards, okay? And then we're going to sort of look at this reading in total if we can. All right. Oh, and you know what? Spirit's telling me I forgot something. Hang on a sec. This is a revelation card. Okay, it's not major arcana, but it's about things being revealed, about the sacred lineage. Again, I hold it straight. All the things I've been chattering about. It's time. This is the first card that would be placed on the spirit realm. What are the soul intentions that we as a group, as a fractal of beings, as a bunch of beings with a spectral signature, and Spirit's talking about the individual spectral signature of each point in the fractal that makes up the energy of the whole. So it's not just about, repetitive patterns. It is about the repetition and the movement of the spectral signature through the circuit that is inherent in the tapestry or the fractal of our existence that will move us. When that becomes energized, I believe that will move us into more awareness. And maybe that's what people mean when they talk about 5D. Okay, so, I'm a rebel. So I don't like to be confined ever at all. Not with thought patterns. I just want to live and have my experience and come to my own understanding. And I appreciate the thought patterns that come up, but often I find them constraining, and I don't like that because I want to discover things on my own. I'm an experiential learner, I guess. So, okay, new courtship, new skill set in terms of being in courtship. What does it mean to be? I was just talking with somebody yesterday about courtship. What does it mean to be in courtship? Where are you in your life? Are we willing to have courtship? Or do we need to have a twin flame, whatever, spectral signature moment and throw our clothes on the floor and go have sex with somebody because we want to experience the union? Nothing wrong with that, really. But you got to have some common sense to you. And you have to understand that there's a courtship that's meant to happen with this energy. And there's something beautiful that can unfold between yourself and another human being that might have nothing to do with being attached into a relationship, but may nonetheless be extraordinarily important for the tapestry and the whole, and the movement into this more deeper awareness of who we really are and what we're really meant to be doing here. So one of the things I was thinking about this morning, sorry, I have a new stand for my computer, so now all my cards have to go underneath, which I'm finding cumbersome. I don't really like it. So, when I was sort of in that half sleep, half awake state, Spirit's talking to me about all this stuff, and I'm trying to sleep. Part of me is like, can I just sleep? Will you just leave me alone? No, get up. It's that kind of thing. Get up, wake up. We need to talk to you. So, about things that I don't know anything about, right? So I just come here and I just try to say, here's what they're talking about. So, as we come into some better understanding, or we begin to have experiences that we are now able to have because we have completed a cycle. This full moon is powerful. Go look up all the stuff you can find about that and about the energetic signature of the moon and Venus in Scorpio, right? We're still going deep. I mean, we got, 9 or 10 days to go really deep and to understand what relationship brings to us in our lives. And the ways in which actually part of what's happening, I think, with this full moon is suddenly people want freedom. And that's, in one way, why a lot of relationships are just ending. It's not something bad that's happening. It's time to move on in your own life, perhaps. Somebody that I'm near and dear to is involved in what I believe is really a soulmate connection. One of the things I say is, it's soulmate's job primarily. See the name? I'm a Virgo, so that's how I think about it. What's the person's job? So that person's job is to walk you to the gateway, ignite your energy, cause you to feel love, awaken your heart, awaken your chakras, so that you come in to sacred mind inside of yourself, and you begin to ponder your mission and what you need and what you want. And there comes a day, often, not always, when you look at that person and you think, yeah, strangely, I love you in a way that feels hopeless, right? Like I have no hope of any outcome. It's just there. It just exists. And now I'm leaving. How do you manage that, right? So this person that I love so much, I'm watching this person, I can't say their name, go through this. And they came here and asked for some counsel about it. And I said, my best advice based on my experience is if you can understand the sacred nature of this unfolding. This person came into your life, you came into their life in a particular moment while things were, while you both were in transition and you came together. Your energy pulled you together because the love is it's beautiful, the love between these two people. And they're separating because it was meant to walk together. The energy was meant to awaken them, each to their own next step in the pathway. And each one of them needed some help to get some real clarity about what they want and who they are and where they're going. And they just had this beautiful experience of walking together and really loving each other, being in a relationship, being attached, until they got to the gateway of the next unfolding. And then it doesn't work anymore. And it hurts because the love is still there. So, my advice is always, well, you don't have to stop loving. You can keep loving this person. Have that conversation. I love you, and I'm feeling pain because now we're going to separate. So why don't we be together and cry and talk about all the beautiful things that happened and why we're soulmates and And we don't have to separate in a way that we're not in any contact with each other. Why don't you celebrate that as a signpost in your life? And, given in this set of circumstances, right, there's no reason for these two people to not have any connection anymore at all. In fact, I think that they will always be connected. So if they can come through the separation, the pain of the separation, know that it's the right thing, move on into what's next for each of them, they're going to be really happy. And so that's, to me, that Spirit says that's the happy outcome. That's the happy ending. It's not about happily ever after with one particular human. Lots of people do. That's been the way society has structured for 1,000 reasons, anthropologically, and I'm not going to go down that road, but you understand, as society has evolved, now we're moving into a place where we don't need each other in the same way. So the way we're in relationship changes because the energetics are changing, and time has caused human evolution to evolve in such a way that we are now being liberated in order to explore together in this way. And it's new. And it's shocking. And it takes your breath away. So begin to understand, delve deep into your spectral signature, and begin to understand yourself. Because what my guides are saying is, as this prophecy, in a sense, comes forward, the lineage of people who are okay. It's not about leadership. It's just about the people who are meant to now come in contact with each other in this way. That's what Spirit's talking about in terms of lineage, because we are on a new foundation. When we come through this Venus retrograde, and there's the beautiful warrior, I love this card. All right, so there's the Spirit guides in the background. See that? Watching over, like just watching us evolve and shift and change. And there's this beautiful warrior who's literally been through an initiation. He has been transformed. He's been through a rite of passage. And now he can join his energy. You see the spears coming through with the tribe. And he can step out together to bring the energy forward with clarity of mind about his own purpose, his own spectral signature. Okay? And this battle of being human, of being a spirit entity in a human body that brings this battle to us in a certain way, because now we're being challenged to actually feel love and tolerate it. And I know it's not easy, but it gets easier over time, and it brings a lot of joy. And if we can do our best to be non-attached and just allow the love to exist and radiate through us, this is what we get. Okay, look at that. That is the keeper of harmony. That's the outcome on the spirit realm. Beautiful male energy, right? So there's a lot of balance in this reading of male and female energy. And in a sense, we started out with this, okay? And so this is the beginning point, because we're ending a cycle and beginning anew. And there's an enormous amount of feminine energy that is going to be turning over the next year because we've been led into this experience by Venus. So Spirit's talking about the feminine archetype and the power of the sacred feminine, the type of love energy that comes, the spectral signature of that. And then the end, in a sense, of the reading. Do you see how they are? Spirit's talking about mates. Do you see the similarity in the energy, the coloration of the cards? Right? Sacred male energy. The keeper of harmony in the traditional tarot, this would be the emperor, right? Being balanced. Male energy being balanced, bringing new growth, new life, understanding the sacred strategy with which we are meant to go forward, and providing leadership and commitment to that as a primary source way of being, right? And there's the sacred feminine, in a sense. Although Spirit's saying this is androgyny in a way, okay? So a nice story. I like it. Hang on a sec. So let's get an outcome card, and then I'll pick a couple of runes. Spirit wants me to pick some runes. A year ago, when I was in the Passage Tombs, I left a rune. You're going to love this. I left a rune in one of the Passage Tombs, and over time I kind of forgot it. I never replaced it in my bag, so Spirit's yelling at me today and telling me it's time to get that rune back because it upsets the balance of the energy in the bag, okay? So, gang, having spoken all about this, spectral signature, what it is when we're inside of our energy and we understand ourselves really, the truth of being an energetic being, and the fact that we do emit energy, and that energy's purpose is to be joined with the other energetic beings that are here. There are lots of ways, right? We know that we communicate through our brain waves now. It's been proven by science. It's really true. Spirit, last time I was here, Spirit was talking about, go to the grocery store, drop into your heart chakra. Allow your energy to flow. Open it. Okay, I'm going back to that picture. Open your energy center. You see that energy coming off of that cushion? Gently, okay? You don't want to blow a hole in the grocery store or have a twin flame moment probably in the grocery store. You don't want that. Well, maybe you do, but I wouldn't recommend it because it'll ruin your whole day. The Spirit's laughing. Okay? So that, because, there's the outcome card, right? There we are. And, Spirit's talking about all the things over time and history and religion and different ways of understanding relationships and love energy and what it's for. It's an ascension moment to bind your energy. And look, Sagittarius, okay? Fire sign people. Spirit really wants people to come here. I can only accommodate 2 or 3, maybe 4. So if you feel that you want to come and partake in that, that's going to be the next thing that Moonrise, the energy here, is going to be doing. And then we're going to get together again on the solstice. And then we're off. Spirit says we're off to the races for next year. But this is the stage that we're moving forward on when Venus transits into Sagittarius. It is about the spectral signature coming together and understanding the joining of those things. Yes, through the yin and yang. Yes, through relationships. But just as we stand ourselves in the world, walking through the world, walking through the grocery store, being in command and being in courtship with your internal energy and understanding that that vibrates out of you and it has a purpose all of its own. That's why my spirit guides always say, you are your purpose. Understand your purpose, understand your energy pattern, understand your spectral signature. Delve deep into your chart, into the numerology that's buried, packed into the chart, all those things. And you're going to begin to understand your particular vibration and be able to come into relationship with yourself so that you can stream that energy forward consciously and affect the other people that are around you. So that the vibration that we are meant to raise together and turn on the circuitry, Spirit says, of the tapestry, so that we can connect with the other people who are doing those same things all around the world. And then Spirit's talking about, then we're going to hear the sound, the hum. And that's, okay, I'm going back to this picture again. All right, and Spirit says, and that's what, these sacred instruments like the tambura, that's what they're for. To help us hear these sounds, to help us understand how it is we go forward. And what it is we're meant to be developing as individuals. So I'm going to check in with the chat. Okay, guys. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Hey, Catherine, you want to come? All right. So listen, the link to my website is below in the information thing. And you can go to the website, click on contact or whatever, and send me an email. Okay. It would be, I'm really deeply asking the universe, and the universe is asking me to do this event on the 16th in order to prepare us to go forward into the solstice, and there will be an event here on the solstice. I think that one's going to be really quiet and deep. So yeah, walk into the gateway. Darlene, where do you live? How far away are you? Are you in another country? Or are you in the United States? I'm a believer of if there's a will, there's a way. And you know all that stuff about it's meant to be. Yeah, Wally, I'm reading your message about the spiral of light. Yeah, a lot of things were discovered here over the weekend. Trying to decide if I should do a live stream about that. Okay, so two runes came out. I'm going to toggle back to my software so you guys can see my happy face. One of my favorite. This is actually sculpted into the outside of my house. I love this one. So that is Perth. Let's see what page is that on. And per usual, I don't have my reading glasses, so I'm going to have to squint my way through this. I always forget about my reading glasses. Okay, so, of course, this is the rune Perth. Okay? If I can hold it up right. It's about initiation, secret matters, something hidden. It is a mystery rune, pointing to that which is beyond our frail manipulative powers. Perth is on the side of heaven, the unknowable, and has associations with the phoenix, the mystical bird which consumes itself in the fire and then rises from its own ashes. Its ways are secret and hidden. And I think the Spirit's talking about that transit finally into Sagittarius, when Venus goes into Sagittarius and the work of the retrograde is done and the balance has been attained. And we've been willing to step into that sacred courtship, a new way of being in courtship with another human being. How about if you just love each other? Okay? Nothing on the menu, just love. And then what happens? Then you get to walk with each other in a new way. Spirit's going on and on about the way we stimulate each other and the purpose of that. And if we could just learn to just enjoy loving and be vulnerable and just love, it's intense. I'm here to tell you, I fall in love all the time, right? So I understand it's not really falling in love in the human way, but there's that feeling comes, right? So it pushes your buttons, then you have to deal with that. But if you can just stay vulnerable and stay present, you begin to understand there's something way deeper going on. And it's much more beautiful, actually. And you still get to have the love. Love is not conditional on attachment, nor should it ever be. And that's the work that we're doing. And that's why Venus is retrograde, going deep into that concept. Relationships are breaking up. People are moving on. Some relationships are forming. But the way we understand ourselves as beings participating in love relationships, I think going forward from here, change forever. I really do. And we're talking about the collective of humanity and the initiation that we've been through in this 40-day period. Well, all year, when you think about, starting from the Lionsgate portal in 2017 and everything that's come forward, we have been through a massive transformation. And it's time for us to be free to really experience love energy in the way we talk about, but we don't participate in. We haven't before now, and now we will be able to. Which, personally, I love that, because I want to be free to love everybody. It's just one of the things I've been dreaming about or desiring since I was really a little kid. How come people don't just love each other? I don't get it. And then eventually we begin to shut down and follow the pattern of the people around us, right? That's pretty sad. And if you look at children, okay, Spirit's gone, taking that now and going running with it. So if you look at the way children are, they do love everybody. The kids, some kids are shy and, they hide behind their mother and all that stuff. But over time, up to a certain point, they open like a flower, Spirit says. And they are just open and curious and loving and willful, as they should be, Spirit says. And then those places they know themselves, that's what we need to recapture, right? And to be unafraid, like a child who just has innocence. Okay, Spirit keeps, okay, that's continuing, but I'm going to clip it off. So, powerful forces of change are at work. with this rune. Okay? What is achieved is not easily or readily shared. After all, becoming whole and the means of it is a profound secret. On the side of the earthly or the mundane, there may well be surprises, gains, rewards that you did not anticipate. On the side of human nature, this rune is symbolized by the flight of the eagle, soaring flight, free from entanglement, lifting yourself above the endless ebb and flow of the ordinary life in order to acquire a broader vision. All this is indicated here. Another of the cycle runes, Perth, stands at the heart of initiation. Nothing external matters now. Spirit's put a lot of emphasis on this. And sort of asking me, like, are you sure you're being clear that they understand that this is related to everything you just said? Broader vision. Becoming an initiate of something that causes us to step outside of the mundane way of seeing and understanding and being in courtship, Spirit says. Courtship. Talking all about courtship. Just love. Free yourself to love. That's all. Spirit says, that's all. I know it's not easy, right? And we're here to help each other, okay? So let's see. Hang on. Nothing external matters here except as it shows you your own inner reflection. And that is what we are meant to do, right? That's why the twin flame people talk about the mirror soul and all that kind of stuff. Spirit's talking about that. Yeah, next time. I'm going to, maybe for next time, okay? So this rune is concerned with the deepest stratum of our beings, the bedrock on which our destiny is founded. For some, Perth means experiencing a form of death. And if need be, let go of everything, no exceptions, no exclusions. Nothing less than renewal of spirit is at stake when this rune is pulled. So I like that a lot as something that is, Spirit's talking about the pathway going forward and understanding that we are in this moment where we're on the bridge of new courtship, right? A new quest. Okay? The quest of art. The art of being an energetic being and being able to tolerate that brings us into new forms of courtship with the sacred realm. Right? So that this lineage of energetic beings can come forward. Spirit's talking about understanding that this does not set people apart from each other. When Spirit's talking about the lineage, it doesn't mean there are certain people that are going to get this experience and certain people that aren't. It's not what we're talking about. We're talking about ourselves as a form of energetic beings with a human structure, but very vastly beyond that. And okay, first talking about the lineage of the star seed and what is meant to be unfolding here, and of course it is. So now we're just in a new place. We're in a new time, I think is what Spirit's talking about. Obviously, right? So the next rune that came out was a rune for disruption, and it's perfect. When you think about being an initiate, it does completely disrupt your life. I'm here to tell you that too. Been through a couple initiations of my own. And it's meant to disrupt you. It's meant to create a form of a separation. You walk down a new path. Might look the same on the outside, but it's not the same. Okay, so let's just take a look into that, and then maybe we'll play. And if Wally is still here and wants to tell stories about some of the things that happened over our weekend. I put up, Wally, I don't know if you noticed, I put up we tried to record our closing circle because I wanted a way to communicate with people about what had happened here and the experience. And it just didn't work well because we were sitting around the room and one of us was online, and so the sound quality was horrible. So eventually I put it up for a couple days and I thought I'd just take it down. it was like the middle bit of that. Okay, so this is Hagalaz. It is a rune of disruption. Where to go? It is a rune of elemental power. It's signified by hail in the natural world. Okay, so this is about change. It is about freedom. It is about invention and liberation. These are all the attributes of this rune. Drawing it indicates a pressing need within the psyche to break free from constricting identification. That's what Spirit's been talking about, right? So my spirit guides are just driving home the message. Okay, they're talking about the circuitry. Break free from the constraints of the old way of understanding so that you be, okay. We're talking about Benjamin Franklin again. All right, so in a way, the lightning bolt, right? It was a seminal moment. Everything changed after that. No one had this notion in their head, except for Benjamin, maybe, and a couple other people, about, if we could capture that energy from that lightning bolt, maybe what could we do with that? This is the moment that we're in. I think that's what this message is all about, essentially. And wouldn't it be fun if there was a lightning bolt moment and all of a sudden everything changed? There are people who prophesy that. We'll see what happens going forward. Given the way the astrology is set up for 2019, I think it's possible. Hopefully we'll get a gentle pathway. I'm a fan of the gentle pathway if possible. So, all right, drawing this rune indicates a pressing need within the psyche to break free from constricting identification with material reality. It's given me a chill. I love it. I literally love this because of the world I walk in. And to experience the world of the archetypical mind. Those things that we know, that we don't talk about, that we experience a little bit, that we desire, that we imagine. Right? The imaginer of harmony, here to show us the way on this journey. Okay, the rune of elemental disruption of events that seem to be totally beyond your control. Hagalaz has only an upright position, and yet it always operates through reversal. When you draw this rune, expect disruption, for it is the great awakener. Although the form of the awakening may take, the form the awakening may take will vary. Perhaps you will experience a gradual feeling of coming to your senses, as though you are emerging from a deep sleep. And then again, the onset of power may be such as to rip away the fabric of what you previously knew as your reality, your security, your understanding of yourself, and your relationships and your beliefs. So again, I think that's sort of a nod, in a sense, through the runes that you're talking about. Look, if you have one of these moments, like the thing that happened here on Monday, it was so shocking to me. I haven't totally processed it, and I don't know if that other person ever will. But I was grateful because it was a reminder for me. All the things that I've been talking about and the things that people experience, it is real. These things are going to happen. And, I try to be careful actually about who I invite to come up here and the people who come here to do work on the property, because I'm well aware of the fact that they're walking into an energy force field and something may happen. So something did happen on Monday. Poor person, poor guy. All right. So this kind of disruption, when you have the lightning bolt moment, if it comes to you with another human being, try to remember to be calm and free yourself to love that person without attachment, and then see what happens as a result of that. Okay. And you know, when you love without attachment, you always have it. You don't have to struggle with, what do I do about that? You just enjoy it, is what you do with it, and you see what gets sparked off the energy pattern of that love. Okay, of that stream of Kundalini, or whatever spirit is not talking to me yet about that, but okay, Spirit's talking about the stream of the source energy that literally does come through us. I've been feeling it for years. That's my experience of it. It's source energy. And if we believe that source energy is pure love, well, the word that we use to identify that is love, and then suddenly we feel it, that should be a fabulous moment. Not a moment to try to contain it. Can you contain a lightning bolt? I don't think so. Well, yes, as Benjamin Franklin found out, and it was to bring illumination. So Spirit chattering endlessly about that. I'm going to keep moving on. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so, when you have this onset of power, and it rips away the fabric of what you previously knew as your reality. And I think what Spirit's talking about is the reality of yourself. It's gone in those moments, I promise you. And you can't ever walk back from that because now you know something. This disruption takes many forms. Through relationships, they may fail. Plans may go awry. Sources of supply may be disrupted, but don't be dismayed. Because whether you create the disruption or whether it comes from an outside source, you are not without power in that situation. It is your inner strength, the will you have funded until now in your life, about these kind of philosophical. Okay, Spirit's talking about the notions of the energetics. All right, the things that we know. We have intellectual knowledge. We study the things we study because we have a leading inside of us, and we do know something. And when the intellectual knowledge begins to intersect with our knowing and our felt sense of ourselves, that's what Spirit's trying to talk about. So we do create the disruption. We prepare ourselves to be disrupted, and then the lightning bolt comes, or you have a meeting with another person, or a dog, or a tree, or something, and we all know that those things happen as well, right? You don't need to collapse yourself into that. You do have power. That is the reflection of your own power in that moment. Okay? So your inner strength, the will you have funded until now in your life, provides support and guidance at these times when everything that you've taken for granted is being challenged. Because if you have one of those moments, I don't know. I don't even know what the words are. What happens is you smash through your own boundaries of thought limitations and what your understanding is of human experience. And suddenly you're not human anymore. You become a divine individual, a divine energetic source, and you experience yourself that way. I think that's why it's so intense for people. And so then they struggle to find a framework for that, and then all these ideas come forward. There's some truth to those ideas, but I think the baseline of what's really happening is not totally understood yet. I could be wrong. So, this is one of the cycle runes. The term radical discontinuity best describes the action of this rune at its most forceful. The more severe the disruption, the Spirit's talking about the meeting, the energetic meeting of energy. On the circuit, right? We are an energetic circuit. That's why Spirit's talking about fractals and tapestry, whatever. So when the circuit begins to get turned on and the energy moves across the tapestry deeper into the circuitry and more people, the light turns on, right? The flow of that energy just continues to go forward. And there is something that starts it. I suppose it's source energy and destiny, right? That's why we could see a card here about destiny. Okay, the more severe the disruption in your life, the more significant and timely the requirements are for your growth and your willingness to stand strong in yourself, strong in the things you've learned, and be strong enough to be 100% vulnerable And I don't mean put yourself at risk. I mean be able to share yourself and understand what's happening and don't shrink back from it, because beautiful things happen. The universe and your own soul are demanding that you grow in these moments going forward. So enjoy Venus in retrograde. You know what I said? I was going to take a picture, didn't I? And I haven't done it because I have to turn my cell phone off because I have such a small amount of internet that makes it really hard. Because, you know, I have an iPhone, so if you have an iPhone, it's constantly upstreaming, and then it takes up my bandwidth, and I can't do this. So, let's see if I can figure out how to post a picture of the cards underneath the video. If you want a picture of the cards, send me an email, and I'll send it out to you. Okay? So, the link to the website is below. And you can click there if you have some interest and you want to try to make it possible for yourself to come here for the event on the 16th of November. I am requesting that you get in touch with me as soon as humanly possible, so that I can determine if we're going forward and do the preparation that's going to need to happen here. Okay? Let me check in with the chat, and then I'm going to head out for the day. Hang on, guys, I'm just checking. Yeah, TD, I'm looking at your comment about love being fulfilling without a sexual relationship. Absolutely. You know, and again, not that there's anything wrong with that. No judgment, okay, at all, ever. However, intimacy is about something else, isn't it? And those of us that are mature and have lived long enough understand that real intimacy is about communication. Sometimes that communication is energetic. So again, you know, when Spirit talks about be strong enough to be vulnerable, to be intimate with your energy in that moment and feel the lightning bolt of the love illuminating your body and illuminating your soul and causing you to, you know, have a kundalini moment. Crown chakra opens and you're standing there, and what you're looking at is a human form. And in my experience, in that moment, the human form drops away and I'm there with some being. And if that person is not able to travel with me in that way, then it sets up the perfect construct for a conflict, doesn't it? Unless I can just be calm and accept it for what it is and understand that I'm here to be having this experience with that person, here to have an experience with me. Doesn't matter if we're on the same plane of understanding existence, you know, 80 years between us, at least 30 years between me and the person who came here on Monday. Minimum, right? And it's one of the things I said, look, you know, I'm old enough to be your mother. Just can we just calm down for a minute? Because, and the didn't have, so, you know, there's a person having a thunderbolt experience. I don't know how long it's going to take for that person to process that. And I hope they have the support that they need, and maybe they'll come back here so we can have some conversations, right? So maybe that's a soulmate who showed up here. It's happened before. Don't know. That story continues to unfold, but yeah, if we can get outside of our constructs and experience ourselves as an energetic pathway for another energetic being, and we share a moment together, and the pure love of that, it's the felt sense of the energy, Spirit says. Let's see. Oh, Darlene, you're in South Africa. Darn. Well, look, let's plant the seed, okay? Maybe there's a way. Wouldn't it be nice if it were possible? So that's what Spirit's saying. Begin to manifest by letting go of the words, I'm too far away, and allow yourself to understand how lovely it would be, how wonderful it would feel, how much fun it would be to be able to be here, how much I would enjoy that. That's how you manifest, right? You got to get rid of the words that bring limitation. and just focus on the words that bring the energy of happiness about the desire that you have, and then keep doing that. I mean, there are people from various places in the world that want to come here. I think they're all going to be able to arrive here, and we can work on that together if you want, okay? All right. Yeah, Wally, everything has changed, huh? Yep. All right, I'm going to scroll up. Wally, you did create your disruption. I'm going to scroll up for a minute in the chat and just, I'd like to try to check in with everybody if I can. Lilith, thank you so much for your comment about vulnerability. Spot on. Sandy, I'm reading your comment. Good to connect with spirit over earthly things. You know, it's all woven together. I work on earthly things all the time. I have to, because I'm still in this form. And the decision to be in this form requires me to create my own abundance. And, you know, I have a mortgage, I've got an ancient car, I'm right in the moment of manifesting, okay, what kind of vehicle do I want? And I got to bring that to me, right? Manifest whatever is needed to energetically attract to me the vehicle. I think I need a truck. Spirit's been laughing at me because I can't decide. And that's what's holding it up, right? I first have to decide and then start the process. So yeah, we're here working on collective consciousness, so to speak. Carlene, that's what you're talking about, together, while we're still doing our human lives. It's a lot. It's a lot of tasking, Spirit says. And that's Spirit saying, and that's why in some ways it's out of our hands, because it is destiny. It's meant to happen. And we're busy. And there are so many people on this planet, as we all know, that are just busy trying literally to survive, and to survive under horrible conditions. Spirit's talking about that, you know, that the part of this pathway of energetic awakening as the energy, okay, you know what, Spirit's telling me to toggle back again. Hang on. As the energy begins to stream out of you and me and the person next to us and move across the circuitry of the tapestry, sending the energy through the circuits around the planet, person to person, eventually goes out into the ethers, those problems are going to be resolved. They're going to self-resolve because there will be no need for them as a construct for us to grapple with what is love energy and what do we create and all that kind of stuff. Lorraine. Sandy Armstrong, you said something about you're in Sandy Beach. I don't know where that is. And Lorraine, yeah, you love the energy too. I understand. I mean, that was part of my process. I just began to see things and understand things, and I didn't have any construct for it. And I think that was a huge benefit to me. I had no mentors, I had no guides, I had no construct. I just walked in it and had all of these what seemed like mystical experiences to me. And so I was able to be free of the constructs that other people were amassing. And then I came to Moonrise Cottage and I really literally sort of went into a chrysalis state. I did not want to engage with what was going on in the outside world. And for a long time I didn't have internet. I was just in here, you know. Spirit says turn into mush like a caterpillar, right? Like, you know, they go in the cocoon and then whatever happens, happens. You know, people say they turn to mush. I don't think that's really true, but on some level. So Lorraine, you're saying you fell hard for somebody during the eclipse. Oh, well, good hugs to you, darling. I get it. Like I said, I fall in love all the time. And now I sort of know, well, yeah, okay, in love. Awesome. Let's see what that's about energetically, right? There's a purpose. I feel love coming through my heart chakra. Usually the purpose is to stream it to that person. That's sort of what I exist for. So that's the other thing. You know, at some point, I got to get my you-know-what together. things are changing at Moonrise Cottage because I'm evolving like everybody else. And so what the spirit world wants from me is shifting and changing and evolving. And I guess I'm going to have to coalesce that into some groupings of thoughts, Spirit says, and I'll put that out there. But there are going to be more things available in terms of journeys together with me. I'm ready to step out and start talking about that in a way that I haven't. And I think things are going to be more focused in a certain way around this place as a portal and opening the door so people can come here in order to experience themselves as energetic beings and what that means to go across and go through a portal and have a safe place to be, and to actually have a container, in a sense, maybe some construct, in order to let go and go out and travel with yourself and connect to the universe. All right, well, Mary Love, put it on your calendar for the 16th of November, and maybe we'll go traveling together, okay? Hey, Dana, I'm glad you're here. All right, gang, I think... Hey, Golan Craft, if you're still here, thanks for being here. I'm always really excited when people sort of stumble into this channel. It's reminiscent for me of the things that I've stumbled into in my life by accident, and how fateful those events are sometimes. So I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Maybe we'll be getting to know each other. Bear is here. India, I said hi. Darlene, yep. All right, gang, I'm going to scroll one more time down to the bottom of the chat. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to talk about or ask, etc.? It's almost 2 o'clock. Hey, Susan, you just jumped on. You're in Arizona, and you're a Pisces. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. So what'll happen is when I stop the stream, this will turn into a video. It probably takes a half an hour for YouTube to process it, and then I'll just post to the channel, okay? So if you want to go back to the beginning, you can watch if you'd like. In the meantime, I'll try to figure out... Actually, I can put a picture. So what I'm going to do is I will take a picture of the card spread and put it on the photo, the landing photo for the video, okay? I don't think there's a way for me to put it... I don't know, if anybody's a smart tech person and they know how to put a photo on the discussion chat under the video, let me know. Okay, so everybody can look at the photo of the spread. Okay, gang, sending out my love and my Kundalini energy and a spirit of saying solid state. Solid state streaming. I don't know what that means. That's some tech term. And my spirit guides are laughing at me because I kind of get it, but I don't really know what that means. I don't know. Something about wavelength. I think about radio waves or something. So they're circling back to the idea of spectral signature and the reflective nature and the way we emit energy based on our wavelength, based on who we are, etc. And you can spin that out into the universe as far as you want, Spirit says. So, yeah, Wally, huh? All right, gang. Mwah! So glad to be here with you. Light a candle for me. I am under it, like all of you, with physical tasks and things that need to be done here. I haven't been able to function for a whole week since Wally and Tani left. But I'm finally shaking it off, and looking forward to the readings coming out. And I think there's a live stream scheduled for the 28th, which is what, a week from today. So I was looking at my calendar finally, so I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not, but my spirit guides like to talk, so maybe we'll have something to talk about, okay? Have a wonderful full moon. Love yourself. Let your love shine. Spirit's talking now about Beth Hart. Oh, and hey, if you haven't listened to the song, I was for years a music student, and I use vibration. So I'm very attuned to music and the power of music because of the vibration. So I stumbled upon this group called Daka Braka. I fall in love every week with new musicians. So I posted a song from them below the video in the information box. If you haven't listened to that, go listen to it and ponder the work of Venus in Scorpio in retrograde under the light of the full moon and preparing to go forward and leap out into this new place, okay? Do your best, have fun, and just stream your love energy to the best of your ability, okay? I'll be doing that for you as always, and I'll talk to you soon. I'll look forward to seeing you maybe next week. I'll try to put the notice, if that's going to happen, up with more than 24 hours notice, okay? Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Enjoy the full moon. And go listen to some Daka Braka because you'll love them. They're awesome. Okay. Bye, Marie Antoinette. Hey, Marie Antoinette, I just would love to hear an update from you about your trip and your events that you had at your center and anything related to washing feet. If there's anything to tell, I would love my spirit guides want to hear that, okay? So thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you soon.